we wouldn't be driving automobiles. So what they did was they forced us all. Do you know how many billions of catalytic converters are being ran right now? Billions of miles. Everyone's got to comply with a catalytic converter. And I just thought, instead of mandating, why don't you guys be the first one to step up, announce it, broadcast it, put commercials during Super Bowl. Southwest Air is the first one that has no more condensations. Southwest Air was the first one that stepped up, and we added devices to our aircraft to knock off all that I call it light pollution. I don't call it condensation. I call it light pollution. So,
light pollution. Okay.
Be the first in industry to step up.
Okay, all right. And then here, sir, do you by any chance do you have a Rapid Rewards account with us?
No, I don't. I haven't flown since 9/11. You know, touching my groin, checking my anal for explosives, taking little children's diapers off, feeling up my 80-year-old mom before she can get on a plane to make sure she don't have a bomb. We live in a psychotic fucking world, dude. I mean, I'm trying to keep my language down. But, you know, Bush, Cheney, Rummy put the whole thing together. They accomplished it. Obama backed it up at 8 years. He never did nothing. Holden did do nothing. This inbred in the White House ain't doing nothing. Doing nothing because America don't care. He said it 3 times. You know who did 9/11? Not one state sheriff, not one state governor, not one senator, not one House representative member, not one airline industry CEO said, "What the fuck did you just say?" Because this is high treason. This is high treason. So Poppy Bush, put this together way back in the 80s. It was all designed. And it was carried through. Don't tell me a friggin' aircraft, your aircraft, has got enough power to take down the Twin Towers. Those Twin Towers, I don't know how old you are, but I remember a kid when the other building, Empire State Building, got hit with an aircraft. Fire never destroyed a steel structure anywhere in the world. That's a historic fact. You can't take that away. Physics. 2 physics. Number 1, chance. A steel structure has never fallen from fire. Number two, the buildings fell at free fall speed. That's physics. You can't break physics. Those buildings were wired, just like Donald Trump knows who wired them. Number 3, nobody talks about Building 7. You know, the aircraft's engines that they found were all disputed, including the bullshit at the Pentagon. That was all bullshit. That was a Tomahawk cruise missile. Where's your jet engines? What are your jet engines made of? What are your landing gear made of on an aircraft? They don't vaporize. There's a 13-foot hole in the Pentagon. And the aircraft engines that were there were disputed by engineers. And the aircraft industry said, no, that engine wasn't made for these airlines. They had a different engine on them. They weren't even close to being the same. Hanksville. What happened there? The plane just evaporated through quicksand? Come on now.
Right. Yes, sir.
So, I mean, we need to step up or we're going to lose our country. This is New World Order by design. It's not a joke. And I didn't call you to disrupt your day. I forgot your name. Forgive me. What's your name?
Oh, yes, sir. First name is Sydney. It's Sidney.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Sydney. And I'm really thankful you're listening to us. I run a YouTube channel here. My name is RadicalRalphRusso on YouTube, and I got a few people in here, and we decided we were going to make some phone calls today, and not to harass anybody. I'm not here to harass you. I really ain't. None of us are. We love you guys. I mean, I don't fly anymore because the TSA bullshit and all that welfare shit to fill people up for bombs. The aircraft industry, look, I don't know how big you are, Sydney, but if you and I were sitting in that aircraft and some raghead pulled out a little box cutter, I said, Cindy, I was 60 plus years old. but I'm going to eat this guy's face for lunch and then cut his ass up. And you and I go grab that son of a bitch? Come on, a box cutter. Phone calls in aircraft. You know damn right well, Sydney, if you had any engineering. You know back then the old cell system that we had before we went to digital. Right. You couldn't make a phone call out of an aircraft. That's bullshit. No. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You can't even, you're doing 400 miles an hour. The trunking rate back then wouldn't support it, you. So you might have been locked into a cell tower in Houston, but once you got to, I don't know, because I don't know Texas well, once you got out of that, you couldn't lock on to another one because the aircraft was going so fast. Plus, you're using microwave inside of a steel can. How the hell are you getting a signal out of that? Unless the aircraft. So, you know, blah, 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 blah. We called you up. I'm glad you gave us a little listen here. And like I said, forgive me for my foul language, but it's a repulsive. I'm on my way to death here. Like, I'm old. I've seen a lot and I've done a lot and I'm grateful for my life. But, you know, I don't know how old you in your offspring and your grandkids, but we got to stop living this life of illusion and stop making change. The first problem is food, because the agriculture department has got all hidden numbers. 14% of the corn was harvested in America. That's it. Soy's way down. Stockpiles aren't there. We're being lied to. So we're going to have food shortages. And you might be too young to remember the movie Soylent Green, but that's how they fed people when the shit really got bad. So anyways, I don't know. You sound like you got everything clear if you're rubbing elbows with the CEO, or if you're rubbing elbows with your people that promote your industry. So, you know, I got a phone call from this guy that wants condensation devices put on our aircraft to knock this off. And I think maybe you'd be the first ones to step forward. It's all a tax write-off. Wouldn't cost you nothing. An experiment, get a grant to fix 500 of your airplanes with this device, all FAA approved. You're not gonna, it's not gonna be an issue where it could cause danger to the aircraft. It just shuts off the condensation. So check that out. Pratt and Whitney, Department of Defense films from the 50s when we started going into Korea. They were putting these devices on the Korean our fighters to keep the condensation trail down so we wouldn't be spotted by the North Koreans. And look up Mike Morales. Look up Mike Morales on YouTube around 10 o'clock Central Time. Come and join us. My name is Radical Ralph. You see me in the room, come. Just watch what this man is doing. It's not conspiracy. He's got most of his stuff is back very, very well. But if you're not doing nothing, screw watching NFL blowjob bullshit or that other Luciferian crap coming over cable. Come and join us on YouTube tonight. Mike Morales.
Mike Morales. Morales is it M-O-R-L?
M-O-R-A-L-E-S. Mike Morales. And he starts either 9:30 or 10:30. I think Central Time. But what you can do is just go in there and find his channel and keep checking it, keep refreshing it from 9:30 on every 10 minutes, and it'll say set reminder, and as soon as he comes on, join us. I mean, these people are not conspiracy. You're going to see a lot of whacked out crap in there. I'm not lying. You're going to see flat earth idiot mothers in there. They swear by their own mother's soul that the earth is flat. And I'm not a believer, but those are comments. Mike Morales don't believe in that. He's got all the chemtrails. He's got the condensation trails from all over the world. He's got the heavy geoengineering that's going on according to our government. He's got maps here that show weather modification going on. It'd be very shocking very shy. And Sydney, I want to get on the back because during the flooding in America, the purposeful flooding, and just like the purposeful burning of California, I called governors, and I says, why aren't you calling Aqueous? Who? Aqueous. Their weather modification. I got another one here. I got three. I got David Miles. I got Aqueous. I got Magnetic Technologies in Dubai. They'll bring the rain. They'll stop the rain. They'll do whatever you want to do. David Miles ended the drought. That's not conspiracy. He ended the drought for Australia last year. $150 million. The government paid him. They came in. They steered the Ionosphere. They brought him rain. So, I mean, we're at a point now where, a lot of people want to put their heads down and create apathy. We just want peaceful change, man. That's all. Well, just a little bit. And that's why I'm here talking to you, Sydney. We just would really like to see your company be one of the first ones to step up and go green, man. Call it going green. Condensation trails build up, and they create a lot of shade for people growing food in this country. And we're going to be the first ones to try to eliminate that or reduce it with our new program, a non-condensation trail aircraft. I think it'd sell big. I think you'd have people lining up the doors.
Right, I definitely would agree, sir. Especially, given the information that you've been providing, that that definitely would help out. People that do have gardens, even people that are growing crops, for reproduction, to sell those in stores. That's definitely something that I definitely do appreciate you giving us a call and giving us this information so that way I can be able to forward this to the appropriate department. That way, this could potentially be something like you said, we could be the first aircraft company in the industry that can be able to implement like this and add these to our aircrafts. Do you by any chance do you have an email that I can use at least so that way I can use it to?
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Sydney. If you're not going to use this in any bad way, I just want to tell my people in my live chat that I'm going to mute my microphone for a little bit, folks. I'm going to give Sydney some information.
This is what we got to do, people. We need to come together and look. Here's the phone number. Ralph made a call. Promoting Mike Morales. It's not that everything's bad. It's just that got to make phone calls. We got to get out there and help other people and help these companies. Obviously, the companies are taking more consideration and care into what's going on than the FAA that we called and Ralph called. But it's 10 people here, and it's got to be done. If everybody called somebody, things would get better. Things would change. We just got to keep going at it. We can't not do it. But, right there. I just looked it up online. There's your phone number. If you want to call and talk to these people, do it.
I definitely do appreciate that, sir. So that way, like you said, we can be that company that can, essentially be, I would say, not necessarily an innovator in the industry, but, someone that would be the first to do it and in hopes that other airline companies in the industry will also follow suit. And that way we can, at least in our way, prevent from, hurting the atmosphere, adding, additional condensation in the atmosphere that, of course, from what it seems has been causing a lot of other issues that I think, a lot of times that people that are either flying the aircrafts or the companies that own them don't really realize.
No, they don't, and that's, there was a group of pilots that got something on, but they were hushed up, and like I said, I mean, you're taking my sunshine away from me. Basically, what you're doing. So we're in a grand solar minimum. We're going to be in another. It's still going to go on. This is a big grand solar minimum. I think it's going to start coming out in 2025. I think is the date, or 21. So we're still going down the road of this grand solar minimum before it even comes up. I'm a ham radio operator, and I do 11-year cycles. And I learned about that getting a ham radio license. And this has been by far the worst. I've been 30 years on ham radio. I've never heard the bands this bad and this wacky. And this, to talk to people and they're disappearing. And then you got isopericutas. I use the Ionosphere to communicate long distance. It's called skip. And don't get it confused with CB at all. But my point was, you're blowing holes in the ionosphere, and we can hear them running on radio. And then that's astounding. That's a whole nother thing. That's just, I don't know who's given permission. When I was a kid, we were all going to die from Freon. People don't remember that. If you were my age, you remember being in first years of high school when it came out, we're all going to die because his atmosphere is being depleted by Freon from the refrigerant that they used to use in air conditionings and cars, and we've been releasing it in the air. It was going to eat the ozone up, the X-rays and gamma rays were going to kill us all, and here you got people that are actually burning holes in the ionosphere. So we just try to pass our pearls, and you sound like you're straightforward. Look, dude, if somebody gives you shit and they're in the mode of having power over you, in other words, getting fired, don't even bring it up, but talk to your locals, your people on your same level, and discuss it with them. Go look into some of this stuff. It's astonishing. It's astonishing the amount of damage that's done to so many people. Wake up, have a blue sky, noontime comes, here comes the condensation from all that morning air travel. And why, thank you very much, Sydney. I'm going to get out of here.
Okay, all right. And so I definitely do appreciate you giving me a call here today.
Have a great day. You got my contact info. Call me if you need anything. We'll see ya.
Okay, well.